Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Stupid Gun Myths. I'm Mike B, coming at you from Mommy's basement. And today we're going to be doing a really fun one. It's one that I've had tons of requests in prior Stupid Gun Myth videos, and Military Arms Channel even commented and said they wanted me to cover this, so I guess I better get her done. Basically, this is the myth that the U.S. adopted the 5.56 by 45 millimeter in order to wound their enemies and stuff, so that they would all stop what they were doing in the middle of a firefight and get up and try and get their wounded comrade off the field, and then you shoot them too to wound them, and then all of a sudden you've got three guys that are out of the fight, and it's just like an exponential multiplier of a catastrophe on a battlefield for the enemy. That's the rumor, right? So basically, you kind of get where that's going, and the bullshit meter on that one goes over 9,000. I mean, this is fucking ridiculous. But hey, you know what? This has been a rumor that I've heard for years. I used to believe it when I was younger until I started developing this thing called common sense and being able to use rational thought to kind of think things through. And I was like, why the fuck would anybody do that? So anyway, I'm going to be using a quote from a YouTube commenter. I don't remember who you were. It was on a video a couple weeks ago, and I've gotten a ton of comments, but you'll know who you are. He basically said, if 5.56 was designed to wound, what the hell was 9mm designed for? To fucking tickle? And that's basically the logic of that. The logic of this myth is, really? So you're telling me that a bullet that's designed to be fired out of a rifle, no matter how big or small it is designed to wound? So this is just ridiculous. These are designed to kill, okay? They're designed to kill. Beanbag rounds and other less lethal munitions like rubber buckshot for stuff like that, those are designed to wound, all right? These cartridges are designed to kill. So I'm going to kind of go in and tell you why this myth is really bullshit, and if you don't already know by now, I mean, hey, I've already busted the myth in my opinion, but we'll keep going because there's people, oh no, they actually designed it like that. I heard that from my drill instructor, and okay. So that's why I'm going to keep going with this video. Basically, the 5.56 is a pretty damn lethal round. Ask anybody who's been hit with it in a combat zone over the past 50 years, almost 60 years. And if they were alive, they could probably tell you that, yeah, it's fairly effective at killing. Every bullet, depends on shot placement. It can be a non-fatal wound. But the 5.56, generally speaking, if the shot placement is well, which U.S. military doctrine for the past however many years has been center mass. This has been shown, the 5.56, all different weights of bullets, different loads and stuff, has been shown, especially at closer ranges, to be really effective at not just wounding, but tumbling and creating a really big, what the hell is it called? The gas bubble inside the hydrostatic shock or whatever the hell you want to call it. Anyway, basically designed to fuck you up and kill you, right? And another thing is, like, some people think that the earlier designs like this that were using a 1 in 12 or the early ones 1 in 14 are going to differ in kind of the performance and terminal performance and the effects because it's a different twist rate and all that stuff. And tests have shown, I'm going to try to keep this video short, but you can Google this. Look it up. Trust me, look it up. You can check this out, that there's really not a lot of difference in between all the different twist rates and the different bullet weights of the terminal performance, especially within about 300 meters, which is what it's designed for. The 5.56 was actually designed around 1957, okay, and at that point, the 7.62 by 51 millimeter NATO cartridge was being used in the M14 service rifle, and the whole concept really of just the 5.56 being designed and introduced off of some other rounds that are previous. I might do a history of this cartridge, but this is just a brief so you understand the logic of why it was actually adopted. It was designed so that the soldier, or Marine, or sailor, airman, whomever, could carry about twice as much ammo. I think the standard combat load for the 7.6251 for the M14 was about 100 rounds, and this just doubled it to 200 rounds. And that was the concept is, okay, it's still a lethal cartridge, and within about 300 yards, these are actually fairly similar, especially at very close range. The amount of damage and the terminal performance of these two is quite similar. The real only difference is this, the 7.6251 will get you out there farther before it starts losing a lot of velocity. So anyway, back on track. Yeah, so they could carry more ammunition, and then they could have, 2 times the amount of rounds to take out 2 times the amount of enemies, right, on the battlefield. It was also designed to be a lot more controllable when firing fully automatic, which was something that was a feature on, the original version of this guy and other M16s until the A2 came out. And the M14 also had fully automatic, and it was very uncontrollable and hard to kind of keep on target when firing full auto. So this was also designed to be smaller and mitigate that. So thought they were killing two birds with one stone right there. So it was also designed to be a high velocity round because they figured that the kind of tumbling effect where the bullet yaws, like it'll go in like this to a soft target and kind of go ass over tea kettle. I'll try to demonstrate this. It'll go in and then it'll do this and start tumbling. It's not going to get a lot of tumbles in like a human-sized target. It's only about 12 inches thick, but yeah, basically it just creates that bigger gas bubble in there. It creates a lot more trauma. And so that was kind of the whole point of having a high velocity, small caliber bullet that was also a lighter weight and smaller in size, so you could actually carry more on the same kind of weight load. So, what does that mean? Yeah, it was designed to inflict massive damage to kill enemy soldiers while being able to carry twice as many rounds to kill twice as many enemy troops. Bam! Could have summarized that. Now, aside from that, the U.S. is one of the only countries at that point, and I think one of the only still, that would actually have the doctrine of sending people out to recover our wounded, one or two guys to drag them back and get them out of harm's way. We still do that, and I'm not sure how many other people did, but at that time, the Soviets and the Vietnamese did not have that fucking clause in their doctrine. Nope, those guys got hit. They kept shooting until the firefight was over, and then maybe they'd go back later and recover, or the casualty would usually have to drag themselves back, or they just lay there to die. That's usually how it worked from firsthand accounts. Even Vietnamese soldiers saying that, yeah, if one of our guys got hit, we tried to break contact and run away. So why would you design it to wound? Like even if they did design it to wound, if it's not your enemy's doctrine at that time, what the hell is the point? So that's another little logic bomb that I dropped on you. So where did this thing start? Where did this fucking rumor actually start? Oddly enough, from what I've read and seen, this started from, you guessed it, our insanely intelligent military and its constant perpetuation of stinky bullshit. What this mainly probably started off of, and this is just my opinion, this is not a fact. You can look these things up too and form your own opinion. But it most likely started with like the NVA and VC, the asymmetrical warfare doctrine, because they were outnumbered, outgunned, and all that stuff, and they had minimal equipment and stuff compared to the U.S. and Allied forces. That was something that they designed to exploit the U.S.'s and the Allies' risk your lives to save one and leave no man behind kind of doctrines. So the NVA and VC, obviously, if you didn't know, I'll be making videos on this, but they used like traps, like booby traps, punji pits, toe poppers, and other like handmade things, little spikes that would impale somebody but not necessarily kill them, but it would cause them to be wounded enough to not be combat able. So they would have to, send a couple guys or stop the patrol, they'd stop the movement, send a couple guys to pull out security. And a lot of times the NVA and VC would just watch them, and then all of a sudden they'd have to call in a medevac to get the casualty out of there. It took up a lot of time, a lot of resources. And then either the NVA or VC would have a helicopter to shoot at with more guys in it, or they'd just sit there and watch and let it go back and let it kind of bog down the medical system in Vietnam and back in the United States, which ultimately costs more money, time, and effort to be spent by the U.S. government for one soldier getting wounded instead of killed. Killed, send them in a body bag, pay for the life insurance, the funeral, you're done. This, it could be years, it could be a year, it could be a lifetime of recovery and paying out that bill and all that stuff. So the disability. So that's kind of what their logic was, and that actually worked pretty well. They bled us dry of a lot of money. But so how did this get started? So that's where the Vietnamese were coming from. So by some miracle of like flagrant dipshittery, that doctrine was kind of turned around and directed at the 5.56, which was being used in the weapon of the Vietnam War. That's the iconic weapon of the Vietnam War is the M16 and the M16A1 and all that stuff. So it just seems like some guys that were ass-chapped about the 5.56 going from the 7.6251, the bigger round, to this little puny round, might have somehow convoluted that kind of doctrine and that idea to be directed towards this. And of course, the military definitely likes perpetuating bullshit. And so that's why it's still probably true today. This is just my guess, but in conclusion, basically, no, the 5.56 and any other firearm cartridge for that matter. This is another one. The 7.6239 is also got this myth floating around it. No, they were not designed to wound. They were designed to kill. No other firearm cartridge in history, I think, has been designed to wound. They've been designed to kill. Again, I don't know how many times I have to say that. So, shot placement and other factors similar to like the asymmetrical warfare doctrine might be more plausible. That's a little bit more debatable while he was trying to fight. Well, even that's a steaming crock of buttered up rat shit. Like that, if you think about that, it's you're not going to be able to see and do an accurate shot placement at 150 yards in the woods while you're in a firefight with an assault rifle or something like that. I know I use the term assault rifle. I know a lot of people know that with a military grade select fire weapon. We'll call it that. But anyway, so got my little notes done. We're through that. So I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you think. I know there's going to be some people that get all pissed off about this because they've heard it for years, and it's really hard to realize that you've been thinking the wrong thing for many years. Luckily, I'm young, and I only had to think the wrong thing for like 10, 15 years before I realized it was dumb. But hey, the logic overrules the bullshit and the fact that, a military guy said it to me, so it's got to be true. So anyway, appreciate you watching. Thanks again, guys, who commented on this and gave me the idea to do this, and the Military Arms channel for kind of pushing me over the edge because, like I said, you told me I should do it, so I guess that means I'm compelled to. Anyway, no, it's all good fun. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you consider supporting me on Patreon, it helps buy props like this, and I do a lot of exclusive content on there. I've been having a lot of fun lately. $5 a month or more gets you into Discord, but all it takes is $1 a month to support the channel, $12 a year, and keep pumping out cool videos with the more stuff we can get. So that'd be great. Go check that out. Link in the description. If not, I get it. That's fine. I just appreciate you watching. And yeah, we'll see you on the next episode of Stupid Gun Myths. That's all I've got. Fuckity bye.